So here we are in Grand Central Market, one of my favorite places in the world. The sights, the sounds, the freshness, the farm-to-table ingredients. It's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I spoke to my friend LuAnn earlier in the day, and she was at her local farmer's market in the Hamptons. And she had suggested a dish using black mission figs. Got me very excited and very inspired. So we're here in the market, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some of those black mission figs. Look at these figs. So you're gonna look for texture, you're gonna look for the freshness, the smell, the soft touch, the ripeness. These are beautiful. And we're gonna build a dish using these mission figs. We're gonna also, I think, because it's so beautiful and it's in season right now, we're gonna use red seedless watermelon. It's a great accoutrement to the black mission figs. They really, really work really well together. So we have our watermelon, we have our black mission figs. We're gonna continue to shop around and continue to build this dish. Cheese, perfect, perfect. We have some mozzarella, we have some smoked mozzarella. Perfect, a little burrata cheese. It's cream-filled mozzarella cheese. I really think this is gonna tie this dish together. We have the crunchiness from the watermelon, the sweetness from the figs, this creaminess from the burrata, and I think I have some prosciutto di Parma back at the restaurant for our salty component. Let's head back to the restaurant and build this baby. Welcome to my kitchen. We just got back from the market, and what I've decided to make for LuAnn is a black mission fig and watermelon salad with burrata mozzarella cheese and prosciutto di Parma. Let's get started. So first of all, we have our burrata mozzarella cheese, which is a cream-filled cheese. Soft, fragrant, very fresh, full of flavor. We're gonna use this cheese as the base for our salad. Look at this, it's so beautiful, so fragrant. Oh, so wonderful. So we're gonna use this first as our base, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on the plate. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is after we have our burrata on the plate, is we're gonna take our fresh black mission figs, and as we saw at the market, they're very tender, very ripe. We're gonna go ahead and cut the ends off. Look at that, so easy, so simple. Ends off. We're gonna cut them in quarters. And I like to cut them in quarters. In this salad, we're gonna use 2 mission figs. And you can use as many as you like, depending on how many people you're gonna be serving. But I think 2 mission figs is more than enough. It's gonna be served for either an appetizer or for a party or for an individual portion. If you use an individual portion, lessen the amount. A little bit more for more people. Makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put those on the plate. And as we are, or I'm a chef, so I wanna be very artistic. So I can add elevation, I can not elevation, so I wanna add some elevation to it. And so we have our figs. So easy, like just these figs are so beautiful. Okay, so the next component of our salad is gonna be our watermelon. So right now we have our base with our creamy burrata, the texture, we got the sweetness from the figs. Now we're gonna add a little bit of watermelon and some crunch, all right? We're gonna go ahead and cut this watermelon pretty. What I like to do is, you can cut the rind off first if you'd like, but I like to just cut it like this first. Cut the rinds off. Now you can use this rind. Pickled watermelon rind is absolutely phenomenal. It's really, really good with, say, shellfish like an oyster or for some kind of a shrimp cocktail, but as long as it's pickled, but it is a really, really good accoutrement to a lot of different things, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we have our watermelon, and I like to make dices for the watermelon, all right? And then we're gonna go ahead and add the watermelon to this plate. The next element of our dish is prosciutto di Parma, okay? You can pick up prosciutto di Parma at your local butcher, have them slice it nice and thin. It's the saltiness of our dish. It's a cured ham. Some of them come from Spain, some of them come from Italy. They come from all over the world. It's gonna add a lot of flavor and a lot of depth to our dish. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and fan this over top. We don't want to hide everything that we have on our plate. So when we arrange this prosciutto di Parma, we want to add it, but we don't want to add too much because it could be a little bit powerful. We want to make sure that we're not hiding the flavors of all the other ingredients that we have on our plate. So just like that. That is so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. So far, if you can't do this, oh my God, you have problems. So easy, so simple. The next step in this dish is we're gonna add a light vinaigrette. And when I say vinaigrette, a lot of times people get very, very intimidated and they say, oh, well, chef, I don't really know how to do vinaigrette. We're gonna make a broken vinaigrette, which is so, so simple. We're gonna start with a little bit of red wine vinegar, and we're gonna go ahead and just drizzle a little bit of that red wine vinegar over top. Very easy, and it's a broken vinaigrette, so we don't have to worry about it being emulsified and all creamy. Then we're gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just like that. Look at how these flavors, everything on this plate so far is easy, simple, and delicious. Then we're gonna add a little bit of our salt. This is a kosher sea salt, and what we're doing with the simplicity of this dish is the salt is an enhancer. It's gonna bring out that natural flavor in the watermelon, in the burrata cheese, and the figs. It's gonna kind of bring it all out. So it's drawing out the moisture in the natural ingredient. Then we're gonna add some fresh chopped chives. Really simple for this dish. We're gonna add a little bit of chive-infused oil because I think it's just another layer, another component that's gonna add a little freshness to this salad. If you don't have chive oil, you can pick it up, or if you don't know how to make it, it's really simple. Chives, blender, extra virgin olive oil, puree it, and then strain it. If you don't have it or don't want to do it, you can pick it up at your local gourmet food mart. They have herb-infused oils, easy. Next step, after we've hit it with that chive oil, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. I like black pepper, so I use probably a little bit more than most, but that's completely up to your preference. And we're gonna finish this dish, and yes, I said finish the dish. That's it, it's pretty much done. It's easy, it's so simple, with a little bit of fresh microgreens, and that's it. Summertime on a plate. Mission fig and watermelon salad with burrata mozzarella cheese and prosciutto di Parma. LuAnn is gonna love it. Let's go knock her socks off. Countess.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh my God, that
this.
looks gorgeous.
All right.
Good to see you.
You as well.
Now,
Have a seat.
look at that. It's gorgeous. Those aren't figs, are they?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God, I love that. You are such a sweetheart. I emailed you about figs in the market because, you know, I love figs, but I don't really know what to do with figs besides eat them naturally how they are because they're so good.
You kind of, you had sent that email this morning and you put figs in my mind, and I said to myself, oh my God, what a great idea, figs. I love figs.
Well, I love figs too, but I just never know what to do with them, how to prepare them. I mean, I love just to eat them like that, like grapes, you know?
That, and you know what? I took that, and that's exactly what we did. Eating them like grapes, raw figs. They're sweet, they're easy to handle, they're easy to prepare. So I just went to the market, picked up the figs, and kind of took those as the base and built it around the figs. So we have the figs and the watermelon, prosciutto di Parma ham, and burrata mozzarella cheese.
Prosciutto di Parma.
Yep, yep.
I love that.
Yep.
I love, is this kind of like, what would you call this?
I would call this summertime on a plate. It's simple, it's easy. There's no cooking. It's hot. You don't really want to be in the kitchen
It's
in the
kind of
summertime.
Mediterranean, right?
Yeah,
it's got all
light.
those Italian, you know, mozzarella and prosciutto, and I love that.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So I think you should taste it.
I want to taste it. What is all this
beautiful
beautiful green
The
color?
green-
It's so gorgeous.
We used we made a chive vinaigrette, whereas, you know, it's easy. You don't need a chive vinaigrette. You can use any kind of vinaigrette you want. If you want to just straight olive oil, a little bit of red wine vinegar, but you need that acid to kind of cut through things, and you want that vinaigrette, that oil to kind of tie it all together.
Chive vinaigrette.
Yeah, chive vinaigrette. And is it a
sounds
really
sexy.
chive vinaigrette? People say, oh my God, vinaigrette's gonna be so difficult. It's a little chive, oil, salt and pepper, red wine vinegar, done. Simple, you know? So it's good stuff.
That's amazing.
The Well, I'm glad. I think it looks like you like it.
So fresh.
Yeah?
I love it.
Well, good.
It's delicious.
So this is something that we put together, and I kind of want a feedback thing. And what do you think? Should we put it on the menu?
Absolutely. I love this. I mean, it's a great summertime dish, and I love it.
Do you think you could be able to put this together? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Easy, right? Simple.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Well,
delicious. You know what's so great about this dish is you have, the saltiness of the prosciutto and a little bit with the mozzarella.
Right.
And
Creaminess,
it kind of the fruit with the watermelon and the figs kind of blends in.
Right.
But some people, don't eat meat. Friends of mine
Right.
are vegetarians. So
Right.
what could you replace, do you think, the prosciutto with that would make sense?
I would, if I love prosciutto di Parma.
Me
but,
too.
And if we have to replace it, like, oh my goodness, I guess we
Right.
could.
Yes.
But what I would do is I would use, being into that market, I would use those nice heirloom tomatoes. Some nice heirloom tomatoes. I'd keep the cheese, we'd keep the fig, we'd keep the watermelon, and instead of chive, because I think chive is kind of a little bit powerful, we'd switch it to basil, and we'd do a basil vinaigrette.
Oh,
Same
I
style.
could totally
and then
imagine
that
basil
would,
in
yeah,
here.
that would kind of really tie in well with all those ingredients that we just talked about, without the prosciutto di Parma.
So some tomatoes, maybe
Yeah.
a little salt on
Yeah,
that.
salt. We always put salt on it.
Oh, of
Salt
course.
is an enhancer. It's really going to bring out all the natural flavors and everything. And
I
that's kind of what I'm all about. Is what you're going to do right now. You're going
I
to create
love it.
the
I'm
perfect
mixing
bite.
it all together,
Yep,
and you know
yep.
what? It's
A little bit of
not only-
everything. Yep.
It's really tasty and
Yeah.
fresh, and it looks very pretty for the table, I find.
The best of the best, right?
thank you, Jason.
Yeah, anything,
Thank you.
nothing but the best.
I think you have a very special creative touch, which,
you.
I like to cook and I like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
like to come up with new things, but it's never tasting like this, darling. I mean, it's never tasting this good. So I am so glad I have you programmed into my phone now.
Good.
And, there's definitely going to be times where I'm going to need some more advice
Absolutely,
about,
yep.
What to make in the summer, because I'm always trying to come up with new and fresh
Absolutely.
ideas. So don't be surprised if you hear from me
Well, I
very,
look forward
very
to it.
soon.
I look forward to it. Well, good. Well, listen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it was
and
it was
experimenting, and we
great.
created our perfect bite, which is summertime on a plate.
Love seeing you as always.
Thank
Always
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm Executive Chef Jason Tilmann, and we'll see you next time on The Market Man.